So, Brian, now listen, we do them every Wednesday. We go with Eric Edholm from NFL.com. We try to at least be consistent with our source of power rankings. Doesn't mean we always agree, but consistency is key.
Yeah.
Brian.
Yes.
Who's number one in your power ranking?
I would say that the Eagles are.
I would say that too. If there is, White Brian, I'll task you with this. If you're able to find power rankings right now that don't have the Eagles number one, please send them to me. And let's publicly lambaste the desperate
the day
click
after
counter that creates that content.
They're number one in the power rankings, but they're not favored to win the Super Bowl next year.
They are.
I saw the Chiefs were still above them.
The one I just looked at had them at 6-1.
The
KC
day
at
after
7-1.
it was the Chiefs.
Okay, maybe
why I don't know.
Maybe it's adjusted. Who knows? Because people are crazy. X gonna give it to you. Who's the second best team in the BMitch power ranking?
The Chiefs.
They got their ass kicked.
Still, they were there. I mean, listen, I understand Neil's my dude. You know, I like Neil. Neil's the only real analytics guy that I like. He said they wasn't good all year. They're in the damn Super Bowl 3 years in a row. And you have to believe that they're not going back next year with the same offensive line. They're going to improve something. Who's better than them?
I think it'd be reactionary to not say the Chiefs. Eric Edholm, NFL.com, says the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
Give me your top five then.
I'm going Chiefs. Eagles, Chiefs. I don't know in this order. Bills, Ravens. They're gonna throw Green Bay in there.
So Landfill just said something that's absurd, but I'm gonna stick to this for a second. So Edholm goes Eagles, Chiefs, Bills at 3, which I think is fair, and I think they'll be able to add a little more this year. They had some cap trouble that I think they're kind of working their way out of.
Mm-hmm.
Lions at 4. Detroit was really good. I think they were really hurt.
I forgot about the Lions. I throw the Lions before the Packers. Yeah,
he's got Lions 4, Ravens 5.
So we had the same 5. I throw out the Packers and put in the Lions.
Commanders at 6.
I like that.
Dog, it's pretty.
It feels way better than what you felt any other time because we wouldn't even in the top 25.
If we were talking this time of year about being 6th, it would be in the draft. It wouldn't be 6th in the power rankings. And look, there's no trophies for power rankings. I'm aware of that.
Yeah.
But they belong in these conversations. This is not us all talking ourselves into Taylor Heineke after losing to Tampa in the playoffs because he dove at the pylon. You got to be able to differentiate in your brain what's real and what was fan fiction. And we're now approaching the real part of town.
But let me ask you all a question, though. Every year we say just because the team was great the year before, they won't be the next year. Normally the team, like in the NFC East, normally when the team wins the division, they damn sure don't win it the next year. Has it been proven, right? Now, Kansas City, for 7 years now, they have been in an AFC championship game and 5 of those years in a Super Bowl. They found a way to be better than everybody every year. So if you think that they are going to be just as good this year as they were last year, when, let's be real, analytics say they weren't good this year. So if they improve it all next year, what the hell are they going? 17-0? Let's be real about it. So when you see people starting to lean towards them, it's not because, I don't think it's just because they think they're that great. They're the only team that seem to be able to repeat it. Consistently repeat it. The other teams don't.
I agree with you there. I want to read what Edholm wrote about the Commanders. Commanders' wonderfully unexpected run concluded in a blowout loss on Championship Sunday, and now they are in a similar position to the 2024 Texans after Houston's own upstart playoff push in 23. More is expected of Washington, and more is possible, especially if you consider players might actually want to play for this previously downtrodden franchise. Jaden Daniels is certainly a big part of that appeal, but Dan Quinn deserves some credit for his work, which has burnished his reputation as a player's coach who gets his teams ready to play. Assuming GM Adam Peters takes the same smart approach with a measure of restraint he employed in the free agent market last year, the Commanders should be able to improve the roster. But as the Texans showed, that doesn't always guarantee a massive step forward for the team in year 2 of a talented quarterback's career. People have treated the Texans to me oddly. They won a playoff game and got back to the divisional round.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
that's a successful season. Not every season ends in a trophy. Unfortunately, the Bills and the Ravens have gotten to a place where their seasons are only successful if it's a trophy.
Yeah.
I kind of think San Fran has gotten to that place, and then that made this year
you
a
see that they dropped
particular
out of the top 5 real quick, didn't they?
right. That this year becomes a particular disaster for them. Kansas City's clearly in that place because everybody's like wondering what's wrong with them because they lost in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Washington, to me, is still not in the place where the only way a season is good is if it ends in a trophy.
No, they're not.
I'm glad that's Jaden's mindset and DQ and AP, but like, take a big picture approach. If Washington gets back to the divisional round next year,
that's success.
That's success. You are now truly laying the foundation of a absolute winning franchise.
True.
I agree. I think they're a top 10, top 8. A lot of it'll shake out kind of depending what happens this year. If you look elsewhere in the top 10, like of the top 5,
where are the 49ers?
Ravens, Lions, Bills, Chiefs, Eagles. I think that's the right top 5. I think that's the upper echelon of the league.
Where are the 49ers?
He's got them. I got to scroll, B. He's got the Niners. This can't be right. I must have missed it. Whoa. Yes.
15.
21.
But I'm asking the question. Has that luster and just, how great, what you call me, is falling off?
You're talking Kyle or Brock?
I'm talking about Brock Purdy.
If they're trying to shop Debo, to me, it's about making caps. It's about clearing up some space. 21 is wild, dude.
Not really. You can fall off quick.
They did go 6-11.
Falling off in the NFL is just like gaining weight in regular life. It happens quickly, but you don't build back up quickly.
6-11, not very good.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting one to me is Minnesota. Sam Darnold, they're not bringing back. J.J. McCarthy's probably hurt, at least to open the season. You going with Daniel Jones? Kevin O'Connell's been great. That defense has been great. They kept Brian Flores, right? He didn't get a head job somewhere. I don't know. Seems like there's smoke and mirrors up there. I like Tampa. See. They keep losing coordinators. I like where Washington is, B.